Viewer discretion is advised.
You have a bell and an envy in your ear or in your face, whatever that means. Happy Saturday. You're listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 254. Tonight we are going to be talking about all kinds of random things from around the Azeroth galaxy. But I think a big topic for tonight is going to end up being, what the fuck are we doing and where the fuck are we going? Obviously that means Belle spoiled herself over the week. That's what happens when you're out of town and you're Googling things. You see stuff you're not supposed to. But what I really want to talk about, and I need you guys to get prepped, so if you're listening to this on iTunes, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening live, I need you to go make sure you go to Wowhead and look up the Wrathion model update. Because this has sparked many theories within my brain since this was a thing. But most importantly, during the intro, I need you guys to be thinking about this because I just want to talk about how Wrathion looks basically like a darker version of freaking Bard from The Hobbit. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed that that's what he looked like. He also kind of might look like a Cholo a little bit. Like, I'm not really sure what that classification is, but I need you guys to go check it out so that way when we are talking about this on the show, I'm not the only one that knows what he looks like because I need an adult. But we have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from trade chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Iron Forge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of trade chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Belle.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies.
Then how did you eat it in the first place?
With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
Hey guys, this is Bajira, and you're listening to Pwnecast.
You know, some of you are probably thinking, wow, Belle, you still haven't changed that intro. You'll be happy to know that I've been working on it today. I have been working on it. That way, next week it is fresh and new and slightly chop-sueyed, whatever you want to call it. I've been doing things.
Allegedly.
Correct. That is 100% allegedly. Because I'm the only one that would know, right? Like, Envy doesn't live here. He would have no way of fact-checking whether or not that was a thing. But that's okay.
I basically treat her like a second wife. I don't get any information out of her anyway, so...
That's pretty accurate. And that's a good approach, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, those are good things to approach. But, welcome back. If you are new to Pwnecast, my name is Belle. With me is my co-host with the Rage, Smokes, Weed, or Day Most, Envy. Welcome back, Envy.
Thank you.
Not an inaccurate intro, right?
I only rage when I'm not high.
Mm-hmm. And if you had to give X amount of times you are not high, what would those X amount of times be?
When we're doing new content, because Daddy needs to remember a lot of shit. And I don't retain that when I'm high.
Actually, you're quite capable when you're high, though.
Oh, if it exists there as muscle memory, yeah, I'm pretty much on autopilot. But if I'm, like, learning a new boss, it's going to be like, huh?
It's, when he doesn't raid high, he's grumpy.
Oh. I've been pretty good lately. Although you wouldn't know because you're never online, but...
I was online last night.
But you weren't in the raid.
Was there a raid last night?
No.
Oh. Well, I was out of town for work. However, I did fix that issue for next time. So, because I do know I have to go to work again, out of town again in September. But I did fix that issue just in general. But we could talk about that later because that isn't anything that's important. However, what is important is that we are together. That's what's important, that we're together, that we're friends, that we're here as a people. We're all of those things that people are supposed to be, I think. I thought you said you weren't supposed to be drinking. That looks like drinking.
Oh,
Pretty sure you're violating a medical rule.
probably, but I was told to drink this if I'm not feeling well. I can't read it, but it's very much in Russian.
Who gave that to you? Who told you to drink that, Alex?
No. This is a Russian that came back from Russia.
I don't know that I would trust a Russian. No offense.
No, bottoms up, I guess.
Not in terms of like standing medical advice, but I do want to tell you something that I think you'll appreciate before we get into WoW stuff because I find this to be funny. So last week I was in Chicago for work. Now this was a little bit different in the sense of my executives were there. It wasn't my normal group of people. It was like a merging of some other departments because we were basically doing a product summit for a revamp on a product that we're going to be launching. So my only reason for being there is, one, because I'm funny and everybody loves me, and sometimes you need entertainment, right? Like, these guys are super serious all the time. But the real reason I was there is because I need to be able to support said product, and I need to be able to help with documentation and all those kinds of things. So I didn't really see the list of everybody that was going to be attending. I thought it was going to be like 3 people. I was like, oh, this is no big deal. Like, my CTO, my COO, my CEO, my CRO, which, I'm going to be really honest, I didn't know we had a CRO. I knew we had a CFO. I didn't know that F and R are the same but different. Because they are. Finance is revenue, which I always thought those were one and the same, but apparently in the corporate world, those are 2 separate jobs. Anyway, so I began to like really panic. And I didn't do most of the things I do when I'm out of town. Like I normally like game in the hotel room. Like I do all kinds of things. I didn't really do those things because I, number one, thought I'm going to go into this week in Chicago with the mindset of professional me, right? Like all those good things, which I was. However, I was nervous. I was nervous that I was going to, just not be me and be smart, and I was going to just go full retard. So what ended up happening is these guys, some of them were engineers, some of them are lots of people. They're all various different things. So these guys go hard. I just want to point that out. Like, I used to think in my youth or in my... am I still young, Envy? Do I get to still call myself young? Is that a thing? Okay. While he's drinking over there, I get to still call myself young. I'd like to think that I could keep up, right? And I can hang. Because I do it every year at BlizzCon. However, these guys go hard, and they go hard every night. Like, literally every night. We're talking till 2, 3 a.m. Then I realized, in my life, I'm very lazy because I'm at home. Like, I'm not lazy in terms of work because I work a lot. However, I don't go hard all the time. So anyway, Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday. Wednesday, we decide we are going to, is that grain alcohol?
Oh, God, I don't know what it is.
Don't die.
It tastes like kerosene and Jägermeister.
That does not sound like anything. This is why you remind me of Jason.
Pretty sure this came from Chernobyl, but...
Yeah, now you're going to grow a fin and maybe some tentacles, which your wife might like that. I don't know if she's into hentai, but I feel like she's into the K-pop stuff, so maybe the hentai might be along the same thing. So, Wednesday night, again, I'm pretty sure might have been Tuesday night, Wednesday. I don't actually remember. It was Wednesday, Tuesday, fuck. I don't know. One of the nights, we have like, it's kind of like a company event, but it's not really. Like, we basically go out for barbecue and drinking. Tuesday night. Holy shit. Hi, Randy. So we...
Like Randy Marsh? Randy?
No, but we don't sit at the big giant table, right? Because we're cool. And cool people don't sit with all of the group, right? Like, we have to be those cool kids who sit separately. We didn't want to intermix and mingle. So we sat at the... One could argue that it was the child's table because... It was a smaller table, and some of us are a little short. So we decide we're going to go hard. This is going to be the night we go hard with the drinking. Now, I'm adventurous to a certain degree. Like, I don't swing from rafters, and I don't do, like, there's not a lot of... I know you do envy, but I don't judge you for that. But my CTO decides he's going to have us take these shots of, Malort? Question mark? Pretty sure I'm saying that right. So, again, I'm adventurous.
Merlot.
No. It's Malort.
Oh, I was thinking of the wine. Yeah, Marlon.
Okay. So, Malort. I asked them to describe it. Herby and savory is the word that I got from my CTO. So we take these shots. This shit tastes like potpourri in liquid form. Like, it literally tasted like I was at my grandma's house and I took the potpourri off her stove and I swallowed it. Not for me. Not the business. Not good. Not even in the realm of good. I would rather jump off a bridge than drink it again. But then we decide before the night's over, we're going to have another shot of this really disgusting stuff that my CTO loves. Like, only sadists like this kind of stuff, and he loves it.
Go on.
So we go a little hard. There was a lot of drunk. You can walk down Chicago being drunk and those kinds of things because those are unacceptable. But it was pretty fun. But his weird alcohol things totally reminded me of you, Envy, because he is into weird shit that no other human in the world. But I was dead. Like, when I got home on Thursday, I literally just was dead. And I was telling my husband, like, I can't go hard like they do every night. Like, I can stay up until 3 a.m., but not, like, when you go from working from home to being out, it's exhausting just moving. Really, just, like, general moving around. And then you don't get actual work done, right? Like, you spend the whole week not actually getting your normal job done because you're doing other things. So that's not fun for anyone. But that is where I was last week when I was not being a productive gamer. Poor Sheldon. And guys, many of you have heard about Sheldon before. I've mentioned him on many occasions. And, he used to be guilty and all that. Sheldon had, like, I could hang. I didn't have a hangover the next day. He did. He was dying. I'm pretty sure he woke up still drunk. I'm pretty much a pro in that department. Like, even if I have the worst hangover ever, I'm never going to let anybody see it. I'm going to be totally fine, and nothing's going to affect me whatsoever. Envy, are you dead? How many shots is that? Because
that was 2.
I think
3 total, actually.
I think if you take any more, you're going to be dead. However, this was a really good precursor for BlizzCon, to be perfectly honest. Like, now my body's ready.
Is it, though?
Yeah, no, like, these guys, Randy's not even lying. Like, these guys every day, like, fuck, man.
But, okay, so you're saying that if I buy you another bottle of Patron Gold, we might actually be able to fucking have some?
Well, here's the thing. You're stuck with me this year because everybody has abandoned us, Envy. It's just us. Like, we're it. It's not like we're lacking people, right? Like, there's a gajillion people at BlizzCon. It's not like we ever lack somebody to talk to. But yeah, I did realize that this is not the life I have been accustomed to. I cannot go hard every day. But I did, right? Like, and I'm going to continue to do so. And I'm sure in September, it'll be that again. And I'll be more prepared this time because I will, but I'm not drinking that disgusting potpourri alcohol. It's disgusting. If any of you have ever had Malort, feel free to comment on the YouTube. Send me an email and tell me about your experience with this fucking disgusting stuff. Then we get a lecture on why. Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned that, Deadpool, because I did attempt to mix, right? Like, Randy didn't really need much mixing. Randy does TwitchCon. He's never been to a BlizzCon. But Randy's like, we discovered very quickly in, like, the early of day one that him and I are pretty much cut from the same nerd cloth. Like, we're pretty much about that same nerd life. So all the things that I, talked about in terms of, like, BlizzCon and things that I'm into, it just flowed because that was our life. It was really nice. But I did attempt to get the bartender to make AMFs. They didn't have the number one ingredient that makes AMFs. It was all bad. All of it. All of it. Bad. They didn't have the, we haven't decided how to say it. It's the blue. Begins with a C.
It's at the tip of my tongue.
Now, people are under the impression that it's just, yeah, what he said. That that's what makes it, that's what makes it the color. But that isn't. It is actually a flavor thing, too. So these AMFs did not taste like AMFs. And it looked like watered down blood, essentially, and didn't taste right. And it made me really sad, because I was like, here's my chance to get and then everybody just had a shitty drink. And then we gave it to my COO, and I'm like, here, you're going to love it. And he didn't love it because it was gross.
So I have an idea. This BlizzCon, I'll bring a bottle of Everclear 190.
Ooh, I feel like I would rather peel off the back of my own neck skin.
And we'll buy some orange juice.
Do you feel like we could do that instead?
We can do both. You know, preferably after the Everclear.
I feel like that is an instant shot to me throwing up, peeing myself, and needing somebody to hold my hair.
I mean, me and your husband handled it pretty well when we were drinking them. In fact, I think I tried stealing his drink.
It's really weird because he historically doesn't really hold his alcohol very well.
Those gingers, those poor gingers.
Like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure he's watching, but I don't know if he could hang a full week at BlizzCon doing it every night.
I think he might. He has the street smarts for it. You know, if he runs into somebody named
That's
Spider.
code for he grew up in the ghetto. I like your choice of wording there, NV. I appreciate that. It's and he is listening. Well, here's the thing. Even though you're listening, whatever I say on my show is what I say on my show. It just is what it is. You destroy what? You destroy the bed when you fell asleep. He sleeps after he drinks, guys. Okay, now let's talk about WoW things. Then we'll talk about more nerd things because we got DitchCon stuff. We're going to talk about those things. But let's get into some of the important things. For the weekly reset for Tuesday, August 6th, the weekly event is going to be Time Walking, and it is Cataclysm, which, not in the realm of my favorites because I often get lost in the Cataclysm dungeons and raids, but YOLO, right?
Dude. Yeah, you do, actually. Every goddamn time.
Yeah. Directionally. I drive by landmarks. So, to that end, I also get around in rooms, walking by landmarks. Hey, it's the third Taco Bell next to the blah, blah, blah on the blah, blah, blah. That's just how I've always been. Also, the PvP brawl is Deep 6. I almost couldn't say that because I'm a child.
Yes, you are.
I don't even have words for that. That'll be one I partake in. Also, Dark Moon Fair is going on right now from the 4th to the 10th. Dark Moon Fair, get your little buff for your experience. You can do the carousel, the merry-go-round. You can do the hat. Keep in mind, both of those things do not persist through death. So the hat might be the better choice. So that if you die, you don't have to go and do a thing. Cha-cha, especially if you're in war mode. You don't want to waste your time. Nobody wants to keep going back. I think that's why I don't go to Dark Moon Fair unless I have what I need. Yeah, it just, but the 10% rep right now, for those who are still trying to acquire their flying, it's smart business. Definitely make sure that you take care of that. So in terms of the hot fixes, there's going to be Eternal Palace hot fixes kind of, rolling little by little every week. I think those things are expected.
Yeah, nothing major.
Though their favorite thing is to do those during World First Week. They love doing hot fixes during World First Week. That's Blizzard's favorite thing to do. But the drop rate for the anti-gravity pack has been improved, which I think is important because I think this was, when I was looking on the forums, I think a lot of people were frustrated about this. Other than that, I don't really see anything else. There's just random stuff, but
Yeah. A lot of, like, situational fixes, like the frenetic charge, hitting the wrong target, bug, and then.
It's interesting. There hasn't been any like huge breaking things that I've seen recently.
No, not really.
Which is not true to Blizzard style, right? Like, this is not... They're known for breaking things.
I wonder if they kept this rating tier a little too simplistic.
You know...
Code that's been proven to work before.
One of the things that... True. One of the things that's interesting to me is Blizzard's been really quiet. Now, it could be I'm slightly disconnected because I've been working a lot and I've had stuff going on at home. So, I haven't... Granted, I don't stalk everybody on Twitter like I used to, but even when I didn't, like, Blizzard's got a pretty loud voice. I don't know if that's them prepping for BlizzCon. I don't know. I mean, when you say gearing up for Classic launch, what is there to gear up for? They're launching a game they already developed that they're not updating or doing anything with except putting it on a server they've already had it on.
It's still a milestone for them. What we're talking about, like 15 years later.
Sometimes, guys, you have to leave the past in the past. You know that girlfriend or boyfriend that you're not with anymore? There's a fucking reason. That's all my ranting for today on Classic.
I doubt it.
You should feel attacked. If you are one of the guys that's patiently waiting
I thought you were done running.
for Classic, you should feel attacked.
Woosa, woosa. 22 more days. 22 more days.
I can't wait to not countdown. I'm going to do an anti-Classic thing that day. I don't know what the opposite of that would be. Like, playing live, but that doesn't sound like I'm making a point. I gotta do something drastic.
Are you gonna put it on your calendar? Doesn't matter. You won't accept it and show up anyway.
Hey, I accepted the calendar invites this month. I did tentative for the Mondays, though, but I did accept Sundays.
So tentative on Sundays as well. Gotcha.
The problem with Sundays... Actually, that's going to be solved here in a few months. When's the time change? November? Or October? That's going to be solved, because when everybody else changes times, I don't.
Probably October.
That's fantastic. Then it'll be better, because then it'll be 5:30 my time on Sundays instead of 4:30. Guys, I don't even put a bra on before 4:30. So we're clear. Just want to make sure I'm clear. Okay. Also, guys, in case you live under a rock or nobody pays attention, obviously Method got world first for Queen Ashara. Was there ever a question or a thought? I think the whole world knew it when they were at 5% and Limit tried really hard. I got to give those guys credit, because when Method went to bed at 5%, Limit continued to push on while EU was sleeping. It was so fucking close that it's so good, because we've been waiting for contenders. Like, somebody had posted on Twitter, like, oh, I bet you Method's sweating. It isn't a question of sweating, and I don't think people understand Method's point of view on these kinds of things. This isn't something that Scott sits around going, oh God, they were really close, I'm scared. That's not how these guys look at it. These guys step up their game appropriately when a new contender comes out onto the scene that pushes them to step up their game. This isn't something they're dreading or disliking. This makes for great TV. This also makes them better as raiders. It's no fun if you're always winning. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, sure, that's fun, but that isn't fun. That isn't challenging. Nobody always wants to be the champ with no worthy opponents. It's been many moons, in my opinion, since we've had anybody worthy to be able to really duke it out in the long-term effort. Limit is one of those guilds that, here they come, fucking charging in like that ex-girlfriend you thought you got rid of. And I think that these things are good, because we have to prepare ourselves that it's logical to assume that one of these tiers, it's not going to be Method, and you cannot make that up for TV, because the comeback story is always better than the forever champ story, in my opinion. So these are the things that makes them better, because it makes them work harder. Sometimes the guys at the top get lazy too, because there's comfort in consistency, and knowing that you're always going to win isn't fun for anyone. It doesn't make them want to be better. So I think this is just a testament to what we can be expecting. And it was nice Midwinter even stepped back out, and we hadn't seen, I think they kind of made small attempts here and there over the last few years, but we haven't seen serious Midwinter since beginning of Legion.
Sure.
I think the first 2 tiers of Legion, they decided that alting wasn't a thing, right? Like alting wasn't something that was a possibility given the current systems that we had with the artifact weapon. And this was before, they issued all the catch-up mechanics, but Legion wasn't really alt-friendly, and I don't think that its intention was to be alt-friendly, and I think it's okay that we have expansions occasionally that are not heavily focused on people squirreling playing 20 characters. I think sometimes full immersion of whatever you're considering your main for each expansion, though Belle's main doesn't change, but whatever. I think Envy, you're pretty much the same in terms of like what your actual main is. I think it's always been, the DK, which those things are nice, but I think it's nice to see these world first things. And the Red Bull situation is situationally frustrating as that was. I think this gave Limit the ability to see things from all perspectives, and we'll kind of see what shakes out. What I'd love to see is these top guilds for whatever the next world first race is. We don't really know at this moment. I would love to see them work with Method. I would like to see them, like Method highlighted all types of people doing the world first race. They even had the Chineses in there, guys. The Chineses. I was watching as the Chineses got like world 5th of, I forget which boss. That's a big deal. That's a big deal for them to highlight all the things and not just situationally popular ones, right? Like give everybody a moment in the limelight.
It's also to see, like each region.
Yeah.
Like Asia, 3rd place.
Yeah.
North America, 2nd. EU, 1st.
Did we talk last week's show about the Chineses and how they're not the winners of World First? And it's weird. We did. We discussed that.
We were walking a fine line, but yes, we did.
Well, nobody has to be offended. Like we don't got to be offended. If anything, I'm giving them a compliment that historically they're better at gaming. Certainly gold farming, but better at gaming.
Yeah, but they're on the list. They're on the list for a reason. And like you said, anything can happen. Comeback stories are always fun, and it could be somebody we wouldn't even expect.
Like who? We don't know because we don't expect them. I see what you're doing there. And then, of course, Limit did get 2nd place. Not very long after, might I add. I want to say that there was like a 4 or 5 hour time span. And I'm pretty sure that you can't even really count that because I think it was still EU's... I think NA might have still been sleeping when this happened. So a few hours after, like pretty shortly after Limit started, I think, which just shows you how close it was, which is good. Those things are things that are good. So a big congratulations to those guys. And then Alpha and Asia group got 3rd, which is good. Alpha, that's the best they could do.
I mean, whatever. Does the name matter when you're like 3rd?
I think it potentially does because you have to dress for the job you want, not the job you have or are applying for.
Maybe they're just being subtle by stating this is the beginning. Alpha.
It's like tribal tattoos.
Right. Sure. A little like messed up Godsmack sun on your navel.
Oh, there are people that have those.
The tribal band.
Yeah, there are people that have them. So I had a thought for a second and then I just decided. So I knew over the week, I had been seeing lots of stuff that was being data mined on a PTR build, and like all these things that were being data mined. And so we've got 8.2.5 on the horizon. Firelands will be back for time walking, which is, those things are good to know. We already knew goblins and worgans were getting their model updates. You know, we knew this was a thing a year ago. It isn't something I'm particularly excited about, though. Just because I don't play those doesn't mean I don't like looking at them visually. So it'd be nice to see some updates for sure.
Yeah, I've noticed that there haven't been many Worgen players around. Maybe it's just me, but I hardly see them. They're like few in between.
The Worgen running or walking is really annoying to me visually, which is one of the reasons I don't play one. I know there's a lot of advantages to being Worgen. I know that they're racial. They have like a... What do they have? A jump or a blink or something.
I remember what it was before. Crit bonus. But...
Yeah, it just isn't something that's... The animations wasn't visually appealing. I know there's quite a bit of goblins. I know that that's a thing. Horde side. But of course, they're short, right? Like, short guys always get the love. That just is what it is. The Obsidian Worldbreaker will be available to celebrate WoW's 15 years of being World of Warcraft. For some reason, I thought it was 20. Maybe I'm confusing Blizzard's 20 with WoW's 15. I don't know.
Don't be putting that evil on us, Ricky.
I know. Players are going to need to complete 3 old raids.
3 old raids.
And defeat 9 bosses.
Wonder how that's going to work out.
I don't know. Ooh, you can earn 2 faction mounts by playing an old PvP BG during the event.
Probably Tolbaram, I guess.
Yeah, but like, how can I get people to play my revamped content that nobody asked for, but I did it anyway?
When mounts are involved.
This is why Blizzard's the top of their...
There's no shortage of people doing it.
This is why Blizzard's the top of their food chain, because they're smart. They know what they're doing. I'll revamp a bunch of shit that nobody cares about, and I'm going to make people go into it by giving them stuff. That's marketing, really. Giving you what you didn't know you needed. A party sync feature will be rolled out, which will allow players to become aligned to the same quest state, including phases.
So, you're stuck on a particular quest. Well, you shouldn't be, but you're on a particular quest which phases you. Your buddy can be invited to the group and be phased into your phase. Not this, oh, you unphased, you've been dismounted and you're falling to your death.
Yeah.
Actually, they put a parachute on now. So. But yeah, it was annoying, especially when you take your friend who just started playing World of Warcraft on like a mount run, or like, let's go do old raids real quick, show you what the game is about, show you the lore. And you're flying to, I don't know, ICC, and then you phase. That shit gets old.
I'm particularly interested in the when you're stuck on a quest. That happens on occasion, guys. Sometimes Belle needs an adult. This is great news for directionally challenged people, such as myself. Or people... What?
I'm just hoping they can fix goddamn phasing ore. Because it's still broken. But, oh, some ore. Let me go ahead and mine nothing.
I'm convinced that that's a person stealing it. Like a druid. It does happen. That phantom ore is... phantom herbing, too. It's rather annoying.
Yes.
So good. As they continue to data mine, there's going to be stuff that's going to pop out. And don't forget that there was some encrypted things, which encrypted things are not abnormal in a build for PTR. A lot of those things are things that they don't want the nosies at Wowhead to find before they're ready to find them. Typically, these encrypted things have almost always been something that's achievement or store related. I don't know that there's ever been like... Because I don't think they put the huge spoiler stuff until, like, right before or whatever. And I think they hide that under something else. Now, I've been staring at this Wrathion model. And I realized
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I realized I was wrong in my assessment. He looks like Michael Jackson when Michael Jackson was still black. Which, guys, that's great because I'm a Michael fan. Like, hello, bow to the king. So, how much time has passed since we seen Wrathion in Mists of Pandaria? We had mention of Wrathion in Draenor. We had 2 quests that mentioned, and then some quests that talked about Deathwing in Legion, in the High Mountain Cave, and all of that. Like, because what's his name? Holn is like descendant. He's a black dragonflight descendant. I didn't know that until recently. How long has it been since we actually physically seen the young Wrathion who tried to lure us up the mountain and give us candy and potentially lure us into what could have been a sex trafficking ring? I'm not 100% sure what he was doing on that mountain, but it was really odd.
Well, Anduin was a teenager during Mist.
And he's not now.
We'll say he's probably, what, early 20s, 20, 21? I'd say in game time at least 5, 7 years.
So, where has he been?
Your guess is as good as mine, but you kind of get that vibe, and I'm not spoiling anything unless you really are living under a rock. If you're, flying around in Najatar, the Black Prince's agents are showing up, like, you got questions, and like, why are they here all of a sudden? And you think about, like, the past. His father was essentially heavily corrupted by an old god, Zoth. You think that this is all connected somehow? I'm not saying he might be corrupted, but it's interesting how this is playing out.
Wrathion?
Mm-hmm.
I have never trusted Wrathion, not for a second. Not for a second. He has always creeped me out.
But, yeah, he does. He is pretty creepy in like a, not in a to catch a predator kind of way, but in like more of like a hostile kind of way. Like, drink this beer. No, I'm gonna get roofied.
Yeah, he's like a, he's a smile in your face type of guy, which I can respect a good, honest, bad villain, right? Like, I can respect these old gods because they tell you up front, look, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. Most of these bad guys that we fight, they own their crazy pretty openly, right? It's the ones that don't own their crazy or that are sneaky that just really bug me because then I don't know what's coming. And I'm always left to wonder. Now, I noticed we're in what we're going to be doing in 8.2.5. This is going to involve us going to Karazhan to... Why is he in Karazhan? What are you doing in Karazhan, Wrathion? We haven't seen you. Where's the people you killed at Admiral Taylor's garrison? You were supposed to send supplies to them, and then you fucking killed them. Like... And why? What? I don't know why he would be in Karazhan.
Mm-hmm.
Not even from a lore standpoint. And Callie is here, which she's not impressive visually. I'm sure that's how she's supposed to look. But I don't know. Some people had said that maybe she was going to marry Anduin. I can't imagine they're going to have cute children. That just makes me really weirded out. I realized this could have been a first pass at the model development, and I don't know if I'm the only one that felt a little disappointed. It just doesn't feel like this was what I was expecting. I mean, it is a lightbound version, I get that, but I don't know.
You'll survive.
Like, their lightbound version was actually better than her actual model. Just saying. They did Wowhead had done a funny on... It was an attempt at humor, and it was bad humor, but... I don't know, I expected different from her. I'm not really sure what I thought. Wrathion I was not expecting, because they turned all these guys into... I'm not saying Rathion's cute, because I really don't think he is, but they've turned all of these young ones that we've dealt with into, not young.
Nice, dashing young gentleman.
I wouldn't say a nice, dashing young gentleman. That would not be... I would not...
Wrathion is polite, at the very least.
Well...
You can be a gentleman and an evil asshole.
And then here comes Valyria. Blood Elf Rogue. The fucking fin on her head. Who thought that was a good idea? Literally looks like she's fucking...
That does look odd.
It just is this poker thing that's just, I don't know. It's a lot different when it's coming at you, I guess. So, what do we do? Somebody tell me why Wrathion is in Karazhan. Because I could find out, but I don't want to find out. I want to know. I don't know what he could be doing there.
I'm just gonna wait, like I always do. But
What?
yeah, we know it. I'm gonna spoil it for myself.
Yeah, because I like this Wrathion thing, and this is no secret. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that I have always been obsessed to a slight degree with Wrathion, and I think it was just more of, like, I dug the vibe of his upbringing, right? Like, and the quest was one of the few quests that I had actually remembered. You know, going and getting his egg, and then Lycan. I'm sure you guys remember Lycan. You know, I've told this story several times. Like, Lycan talked about how the dragons can hear everything in their egg, which was interesting because I didn't know that that was a thing. And, you know, you've got all these different factions and groups and such trying to use him and talking about all the ways that they're going to take advantage of his power. Then you grow up and you have that knowledge, and you're not going to answer for, you know, and look at who his dad is. Like, ultimately, just because, like, that isn't his dad by blood natural birth, right? Like, he essentially adopted him, right? Like our version. That isn't his actual father, is it? Is it not his father?
Wait, who? Wrathion?
Yeah, Deathwing isn't his actual dad.
Yeah, Wrathion had, or Nefarian had tons and tons of.
Oh, I for some reason was under the impression that it wasn't his actual blood child. I don't know
He's
where
a member of the Black Dragon.
Well, I knew that, but I thought it was like kissing cousins type of deal with whoever Deathwing might have. I don't even know. Do dragons?
They have tons of consorts. And
Who fertilizes the eggs, guys? How does that even happen?
same way it does in real life.
We don't know dragons in real life.
You got the Komodo dragon.
Do the dragons have the eggs and then
Komodo dragons have eggs.
I don't know, and Deathwing just comes along and...
He basically sprays them.
So there isn't any intercourse?
There is, but it's...
Awkward pigeon intercourse like you see at the park?
Or chicken, for that matter.
I suppose since they have human forms, it's logical to assume that there would be some type of human form copulating. I used a big word on a Saturday. So,
I'm feeling pretty fucking good right now, Christ.
we've got, just so that we can fact check, we are dealing with the Shara, who for sure is working with N'Zoth. We have Sylvanas, who we haven't dealt with yet, but we know that we're going to be dealing with more of her story soon, who is very obviously under the influence of not her normal self. Like, that bitch was off her rocker normally anyway. But, like, this is a whole new level of crazy for her. We have so many things that have not been spoken about. We have Khadgar still, who is where? He's fucking, you know, and then now they're bringing back oldies. Now we're bringing back oldies, right? Here comes our shaman of the world, who was out fucking farming and wood chopping in the middle of fucking East Jesus nowhere in the Grand. Now they're bringing back these stories that not stories necessarily, but these people that we have been dealing with over the course of the last 3 expansions. What the fuck is happening? Because that's just those little things to me are very telling of an epic size battle.
Kind of reminds me of what Marvel did with the Avengers, right? You have Infinity War, which had all of them. And then Endgame. Well, at the end of Infinity War, you have the original Avengers. Kind of like a last go. You get the old gang back together for one epic showdown and then call it good kind of deal.
One literal endgame of sorts, because N'Zoth is not an aberration. He's not a vision. He's not projecting himself. He is out of his fucking prison.
Spoilers.
If you guys didn't know, I'm pretty sure everybody knew that particular portion shouldn't have been a spoiler. Like, come on. Just that alone weighs very heavily. I don't know if there's ever been another one that's been out. Like, we fought Yogg-Saron, but we fought not him, right? We fought his...
We just fought very weak versions.
Yeah, like, this is the real deal, guys. This isn't a fucking drill. Everybody man your battle stations. Like, how do you put it back in? That's probably what she said. But how do you put it back in? How do you? That's really the question. The question isn't where we're going. The question isn't what we're doing. The question isn't who's going to win or lose, because those things don't matter anymore. The question is, how the fuck do you put it back? How? Who on this earth has the power to destroy it or put it back?
A world soul.
Okay. By doing what? Trade swapping?
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
I don't want to find out. I want to know.
You're so impatient, gosh.
Because it's these things that it's these little lead-ins that, you know, I find. I don't know. I seriously, though, I don't know that if anybody's asked that question. Like, there's a lot of things that are happening, and none of these things are the question. I don't even care where we're going anymore. But the weight hit me of, how do you put it back?
Well, there's, again, we can't talk about it because, like you said, we know he's out, but if you don't know how he got out, there's a little more to it.
I don't actually know how he got out.
Right, so I'm not going to even talk about it, but it's...
Didn't it, who did put him in jail the first time? The Titans?
Yes. They basically came down and wrecked shit and imprisoned them all.
Where is Narganon and all of our Titan extraordinaires?
Didn't you remember the last raid? They kind of fucked off because they're in a weakened state.
Yeah, they took off, though, and then Sargeras was pissed off and went and did a thing.
Mm-hmm. And Illidan's there, basically keeping them in check. But, yeah, they're severely weakened. Pretty much to the point where they're practically almost dead.
So we have no Titans. We have no weapons. We have a hole that God bless Magni and his beautiful work of trying to heal Azeroth. We have Void. We have no allies. We have no friends. We have an old god who's no longer in prison. This is bad. This is like monumentally, like from where I sit, where is the ace in the hole? Because I don't see one, which is exciting, right? The prospect of zero hope. Zero, I want you to give me zero hope, because I think that's when heroes shine, when there's no hope. But if you just take a look and just fact check it, all the things that we have a really strong, powerful necklace. What are we going to do against N'Zoth with a necklace? We're going to fucking throw it at him?
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do? And you're talking about an old god who has the power to corrupt and get into your brain and mind control you. Why he hasn't done that already, right?
But one of the things that like Blizzard has always made it known, and it's one of the things I remember reading about this somewhere. They were inspired by the same developers that made Doom. Sweet. In Doom, you are the lead. You basically go around and you kill demons, and you're the hero. They want us to emulate that with our characters. We're not ordinary dudes. I mean, when we die, we get our bodies back, and there's lore behind it too. Like the spirit here is basically telling you it's not your time yet.
Yeah, because we're not all the way dead. We're mostly dead.
There's a purpose for us. It's always going to be like introduced that way. Like,
Do I think we are powerful enough to contend with an old god?
I don't know. As a group, we fought Titan, Agrimar.
We did. We did.
We fought an infant world soul. Jesus Christ. Now I know what this tastes like. Absinthe. It tastes like pure absinthe.
None of that sounds fun. Sylvanas saving the day. Let me tell you what they're doing. They're setting up Sylvanas to die. That's what they're doing. Either way, she is not walking away from this expansion as war chief. I think we're aware of that. Like, I don't know what the story looks like for her. Maybe she's going to sacrifice herself, because that's actually something I was thinking about the other day, and I was thinking about this when I was in the bathroom. And I don't want anybody judging me. Sometimes I get my really best ideas when I'm in the potty. But I was thinking about, this whole time I've been thinking that they were setting up Sylvanas to be killed, right? Because they're making her fucking nuts, and bitch, like, needs a Snickers or something because she's hangry. But what if they're not setting her up to kill her in like a mean way? Like I think it's raining outside. Like we go in guns blazing and we fucking shoot her more times than she needs. Like double tap to the hilt. Maybe there's a sacrifice that's made. And maybe she sacrifices her life and redeems herself when she dies. And maybe, you know, the transition of a new war chief, because I know she's not going to be war chief. There's too many signs pointing to that's going to be Sourfang. Like there's too much pointing in that direction. It'd be really dumb at this point if they didn't, because that's basically the expectation. But I think, yeah, it saves the day, but not really my day. It just, I don't know if sacrificing yourself can atone for me having to watch children drown, I burn. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, I don't know that there is an I'm sorry Hallmark card for that. I don't think I'll ever recover as a human.
Well, there's more to it, too. Like, Inzoth is out.
I think Sourfang's very honorable.
Inzoth is out. There's that quote, her death will usher in a new era. Whose death?
So, Beletrius, he is out. This is where I'm not dealing with a, we're not dealing with a weekend, like, he's out. Full-fledged, fucking Shawshank Redemption, digging a hole over the course of 10 years, on a fucking sunny beach somewhere, waiting for Red. He is out. Escape from Alcatraz style.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good things. Like, none of this is bad overall in terms of potential.
So here's another thing to think about, too. What about the elements? One thing that pissed me off about Cataclysm is you never really find out what happens to Neptulon. You just know that he's taken by a freaking sea monster. And then when you progress through the story, he's basically just, hey, he's okay, you know, whatever. Never really, well, I'm sure there is explanation. I haven't read it to it, but where are they in this? Because you still got, what's that bitch's name in the underground and shit?
Yes.
We know Ragnaros is dead, or is he? I don't know, but for the most part, Ragnaros is dead. But we got two confirmed elementals around. Alakir's dead, I believe. So why are there? What are these two elementals thinking about? Because they served the old gods in the past. Nazoth is out, a full-fledged old god. Like, hey, come back, help me wreck shit. What's to stop them from teaming up? From
True. Those are true things. Oh. So I was reading some stuff also, and I was unsure if I was going to say this on the show, but I don't think it's necessarily a spoiler. But there is a lot of theories, given some of the voiceover that people have spoiled themselves with. I've personally not listened to the voiceover or read the text, but people are assuming that the Dragon Isles is going to be an expansion. I've never really thought that that's where we were going because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But the theory is that Dragon Isles is going to be 8.3.
It's interesting too because if you're going through just your normal storyline, there is a point where you have to empower the dragon scale. And there's a big. Have you caught up with any of the storyline? Are you still pretty far back on Najatar and all that stuff?
So when you say storyline, there isn't any quests in Najatar except for dailies.
I know I got to a point where I basically went into the Emerald Nightmare or Dream.
I don't think I've done that part yet.
Okay, so I won't spoil it, but again, it's getting very dragon centric.
Well, and the baddest of them all, Wrathion, who, I mean, the Black Dragonflight is the Mac Daddy of all dragons, yes?
Mm-hmm. They're the strongest. They're considered the warriors.
I'm I don't know. It's just all so much that it's exciting. I wonder what Rem thinks of all this stuff.
Where is Rem? I'm sure he's around.
Well, he's alive. I am going to listen to these voiceovers. Now we've got Evan Horn's voiceover stuff.
Who also is a dragon.
Right, he is also a descendant of the Black Dragonflight. Which...
Dragons are where?
Do they... Like, if Wrathion turns out to be fucking batshit crazy... Elderhorn's like a pretty solid dude. Will he kill his own blood? I mean, I'll do it in fucking New York second. I'll stab you, blood or not.
I mean, he grew up with a Tauren and he basically like adopted peace. I think he would do it for the greater good.
I mean, I would do a lot of things for the greater good. I would say they were for the greater good, but they would be selfish in nature, largely. Isn't that the way, though? Or no?
I don't know. I'm a selfless man.
Oh, you're a selfless man, huh? Seems...
Others before myself.
You know, that's so nice of you.
Of course it is.
It's nice to be selfless.
I did a mecha on a day for Deirdre, you know.
Look at you being a guy that does guy things. What, level?
Just Mechagon.
Oh, just your...
Operation Mechagon.
He said thought it was for the group. So it wasn't just for him, it was for everybody.
Yeah, for the most part.
I'll let that slide.
I was high as balls too. I just wanted something to do.
You would never be high as balls.
Yes, I would.
My stomach's growling. My husband's watching.
My stomach's growling too.
Just
Probably because I'm high.
know I need some food if you're listening to this. When is the last wing of Raid Finder out?
This coming week, I believe.
So, next week,
We're going to talk about shit.
we're going to talk about shit and we're going to fuck right off with spoilers. So, you're going to have to be okay with what that looks like because we have a job to do, guys, and we can't not do it. I need you guys to get on our level and get into this content so that you can help theorize because good things are coming. And, I was really excited for BFA and all that because of story, but this is very much mirroring the Marvel Universe situation. And now that I think about it in that terms, which that's one of the reasons why Envy's smart sometimes, don't tell him I said that, is because he did equate that to something that I get on a deep personal and spiritual level. I understand. So him equating that made me realize that he's probably not wrong. But what do we do with the meeting of the minds? That's what we're going to focus on in the next coming weeks. Oh, not for nothing though. The guild is what? 7-8 normal, 2-8 heroic. Not too shabby for like 2 weeks of raiding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good, pretty good. Those things are nice.
More and more people are showing up. New people are showing up. It's
I
nice.
love it when new people are showing up. I also love new camel mounts. Honestly, camels are ugly. I'll never ride one. I was going to say drive one. I'll never camel it up. Not toe, not knuckle.
Hey, weren't they a mechanic in Cataclysm in one of those dungeons?
I think so.
I fucking hated that dungeon. I hated that whole zone, actually. Well, I guess it is a whole zone.
Like these camels are Kultarian in nature, a little bit kind of.
Check out these beasts.
Yeah, like they're all right. I wouldn't. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just here. And what does this say? Oh, I guess there's this new login screen where you could possibly log in with your phone. What does that even mean? Time to hide my phone number from anyone who plays WoW. They're not wrong.
That is odd looking.
It is a little, and he's got goggles on, which I guess, camels in the desert with the wind. Like, I get it.
I don't really think they need goggles for that, though, but sure.
We don't know the camel's life.
I mean, they live in a desert. I think they're pretty much used to it anyway. It's not like they have the local gap. Like, can you give me some shades, bro? Cool. Thanks.
I see a Chavi. What do we have? We have lots of people. We have people. We got friends, guys. We have friends. Not for nothing, but I have back sweat, and I don't know why, because it's not hot in here. I just have super back sweat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not yummy, so we're clear.
Goes with that last name of yours.
That was a Mexican joke, guys, in case you didn't.
Yes, it was. Yes, it certainly was.
In case nobody got it. So what is Kalia doing here? Can someone explain to me before we move on? And so you mean to tell me that the Black Prince's hideout was the fucking... I'm spoiling it. I don't give a shit if you don't want to hear it, plug your ears. The Karazhan Catacombs is where Wrathion has been... That's his lair?
I did not know that.
Why are you in the catacombs?
Because nobody can glitch their way into it unless they do the Lucid Nightmare quest. That's why, Belle. God. Have you done the Lucid Nightmare quest? It's dog shit.
I did do the Lucid Nightmare.
It was a Lucid Nightmare.
Well, I know she was in the book.
She was.
But...
Didn't she try brokering a piece or something?
That's
I
what
didn't read the book.
Chicks always do that, though. But so he's just hiding out in the catacombs. The Karazhan motherfucking catacombs. This dude is just living the life. fucking... Do you suppose he has maids down there? Like,
I don't know.
is he living it up slum style? Or does he have, like, a staff of fucking...
What are you talking about? That's a pretty kick-ass freaking pad. He has a pool.
Yeah, but does he have waiters and shit? I know he's not down there fucking cooking his own rat sandwiches.
Dude has freaking agents that follow him. I'm pretty sure this motherfucker can get some goddamn fucking, I don't know, fucking calzone from Pizza Hut.
Well, we know she gets killed, but we also know she gets raised, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the undead cannot have children, correct?
Correct.
So she's not a good bride for my king.
No.
If you're not fertile, I can't help you because we need an heir.
And I feel that, like, that would kind of be, like, I don't know, awkward, you know? It's cold. You know, that affects a lot of people.
Which Valeria?
Valera?
Oh, Valera, not Valeria. I don't know. She's got a pointy hat. I wouldn't date her. I'm not saying a hat's a deal breaker, but a hat matters.
Pretty sure that's her hair, and it's just jacked up.
Is that her hair?
That's her hair.
Fuck.
It's just probably, yeah.
That's like in the 80s when you thought the side ponytails were great, right? Or the whole flock of seagulls phase. Everybody thought those were great ideas until they realized they weren't. So lots of good things, and I'm excited for what's coming because I think, you know, what happened in Warlords of Draenor and Legion was pretty epic in itself, right? Like over the course of the last few expansions, we've lost major people, and it just feels like let's do it. Like, I'm in. So, in other news,
22 more days.
nobody cares about that. Envy, what did you do this week in WoW and in life in general?
I got high.
Expected.
I rated high.
Also expected, not shocking or uncommon.
Got high some more and rated high again.
That's a little weird, but okay.
Did a 10 toll to gore and got my best in slot one-handers for Frost. And I was also high. We didn't make the timer because I was high.
Oh, I find that hard to believe. I think you're more efficient when you're high, aren't you?
I just handled the begoling terribly because I was high. It was a sleepy high. Following day, woke up, checked my loot, got the same version of the offhand that I needed. So, you know, that was great. Thought about getting high, but went to work instead. At work, I made fun of Alex, because that's what one will do, who is coming back next weekend, thank God. And then I got high some more, and that's it.
Not noticing a pattern or anything. That's okay.
That was pretty much it. Like, the raid was pretty kick-ass. We got the cooldown, and we said, fuck a Shard with Thymine because it was too much to cover. We just wanted to see where we would be in a heroic. And we got through the first two bosses quite easily. It was pretty fucking gnarly. Which either is a testament to us trying to get gear, or the raid is too easy. And I'm thinking the raid is a bit too easy. Mind you, we haven't gotten to Ashbane yet.
I don't know that the world first guys thought it was easy.
That's mythic.
Even on a heroic level, I don't know that they thought it was, like, easy.
It is a little more forgiving compared to the previous raid, is what I'm stating.
Oh, that makes sense, though.
Very, very. I feel that's very forgiving.
You know what's also forgiving? Basketball shorts. Food for thought. You can choose those instead of yoga pants, ladies.
I don't know. Yoga pants, especially if you live in Colorado, considered one of the more fitter states. I have to agree. Yoga pants are fucking awesome.
Yoga
I
pants
know my
are
wife's watching this, dude. I don't care.
yoga pants are pants.
You know, they play the part, and I don't mind them. I don't wear them. I just
Clearly, you've never shopped at Walmart.
hell no. I
Not all humans wearing yoga pants are created equal. Dude.
I was about to make a terrible joke. I'm gonna walk away from it, but I'm sure you all heard. And if you have family in Texas, affected by this,
Oh yeah, that's terrible. We're not going to talk about that on the show, but that is terrible.
but yeah, fuck Walmart in general. Like they treat their employees like trash. You always have something interesting you run into in Walmart, and it's either great or it's not. One of my employees told me that she went into a Walmart and some dude, just another stoner, walked up to her and she's like, "You're so beautiful," and she's holding some her words, maxi pads and a box of Midol, and she's like, "Excuse me, Walmart. Doesn't matter where you go."
If she's holding maxi pads and Midol, I didn't know women still used maxi pads. There's something to be said for a good old-fashioned tampon. Ladies use it. But to that end, she probably needed to be told she was pretty.
I don't think she cared. But then again, she's telling the story, and
She probably was like, "Oh my God, thank you."
what would you do if you went to Walmart and somebody's just like, "You're so beautiful"?
I don't know that that's ever been a thing. Like,
But hypothetically,
it's hard for me. Like, I've never. All these girls have all these stories. I don't have. Those things don't exist. Like, what was that episode where I was ranting about this chick who was saying she got catcalled, right? And I'm like, nobody catcalls. That isn't a fucking thing. I'm 37 years old. Never have I ever been catcalled at. Then I look at the chick's Twitter, and obviously she's not a looker. And you guys can get mad at me for being a judgmental bitch all you want to, but facts are facts. She was not particularly good, easy on the eyes. Or in the dark. Not even 2 paper bags, my dudes. And I just thought, you were not catcalled.
that's God invented dimmers for a reason.
But those things don't happen. There isn't. Oh crap. Tio just walked in on the show. No!
What up, Tio?
Tio, say hi.
Oh shit. Hi.
Well, now Tio's part of the show. Hold on. I'm going to make it where we can't see Tio's box. But Tio, we have an unexpected guest who is unofficially my anti-roofie device. Everyone say hi to Tio. Tio, say hi to everyone.
Hello, everybody. Oh man, I feel like a jerk.
It's my fault because I forgot to lock the room. But we did move the show to Saturday. But now you get to be here to say hello to everyone.
Well, hi.
Oh, shit. Now we got Julio.
Now it's a party.
We have more people.
This is what happens when you don't lock the Zoom room. Julio, say hi to everyone.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Guys, we had 2 friends drop in on the show, and it's my fault because I didn't lock the room. But to be fair, nobody comes in Zoom anymore. Now we have a party. That is freaking... Don't worry, nobody can see your camera, guys. So, we're going to use this as an opportunity for these guys to help us end the show properly. Because things... We did have this show rated. That's actually... Envy's like, I'm too high for this.
I am really too high, but you know what? There's only one cook in the kitchen.
Yeah, Envy, I
Sam
remember
doesn't
that.
know that one.
I don't
You
get
remember
it.
that night, like the first night after BlizzCon, your bitch ass was like so tired, and
But you wanted fries from IHOP?
yeah, all you wanted was some French fries from IHOP. They had one motherfucker cooking, and like
Oh, dude.
took like fucking hours to get our fucking food.
Mm-hmm.
We showed up around 11. We didn't get back until we didn't leave there till about 1.
Yeah, it's like a
They
2
were
hour
like,
wait.
yeah, they were like, they were kind of salty I didn't go. But listen, guys, I was fucking old as fuck and I needed sleep. Then they were really glad I didn't go because it would have been a dumpster fire because I would have Karened like nobody had ever Karened before. If there was one single cook in the kitchen, it would have been a fight and it would have been a bad one.
A fight, there would have been a public shooting. Oh, wait, too soon?
Well, that might be too soon.
Okay, my bad.
But the good news is there wasn't a fight because I wasn't there. Did you guys actually bring me French fries? Because I don't remember.
We brought stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
Did I wake up and eat it?
I don't think you did.
No, and I think you were still in a coma.
Tio built a wall because he was afraid I was going to touch him in his sleep. He literally trumped it up and built a wall in the bed.
Hell yeah, I don't want cooties.
He did not want bell cooties. But he was very courteous as a roommate. So were all the guys, actually. They were solid Americans, those guys were. Now it's going to be a different... Well, I think the only difference is really Julio. Julio's never really...
And we had bunk beds.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have... I'm not sleeping in a bunk bed, though, just so we're...
We tried putting a bean dip up on a...
That would be funny.
He tried, and the thing started screaming, rather. BlizzCon.
Chinese fire drill.
Pretty much.
The things that happen at BlizzCon stay at BlizzCon, which is a good thing.
They don't. They never do.
No, people need to know what's going to happen at DitchCon stays in DitchCon.
Oh, guys, it's going to be a year. Things are happening very slowly. So, the surveys didn't go out. I'm going to go ahead and send them out tomorrow anyway. I'm not going to have the final art, but you guys will have an idea. Pretty much everybody only cares about the characters anyway. I don't really think anybody cares about the specific stuff because it's my fault. I thought he was finalizing things. He was waiting on notes from me. I gave him half the notes, and I don't know that he looked at it, but we're working on it now. So I'm just going to send the surveys out so that I'm not late for stuff. But that is... I should have sent them out already. But we're late for everything else this year. We might as well just fucking go ham. Like, it is what it is. Tickets for DitchCon will be available for RSVP. And give me a second and I will give you the time. Because I have it set up on like an auto thing. If you were a legendary backer and are expecting a code, you will get that. This year, I wanted to say if you were a legendary backer or above, anything above the legendary, you got, how are there 9 tickets sold? Uh-oh. Did the event already start? The tickets might already be available now. This is how tired I am most days. It is already live. They're already available. I haven't even tweeted or nothing. That's good. I'm not ready to tweet, so who cares? If you are a legendary backer, you do not need to RSVP because you will get a code that will give you what you need for the wristband. As a special thank you, I am giving a +1 for the wristband. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, you get a +1. But
Do I have to RSVP?
no, if you're a legendary backer, you do not have to because I will give you a code and that code will take you to do the thing. So I guess I started it on the 1st. It makes sense. I remember. What?
Can I be my own +1?
You can be your own +1. I'm not going to judge you if you want to be your own +1. Like,
Well, yeah. If you make it to BlizzCon, you can actually bunk up with me. I'll kick Lena out if you want.
Can I be a +1?
a +1? That's racist. Like, I already insulted the Chineses today. Let's not make it any worse.
The more the merrier, Miko.
Hey, we're global.
Why are you posting chicken nuggets on your Twitter?
Hashtags for the nuggets.
What is...
Nuggets?
For the nuggets. Hashtag for the nuggets.
Those honestly look good. I'm starving. I have steaks downstairs. I just squirreled. Guys, it's the end of the show. It's time for us to go and do whatever weird shit we do on Saturday nights, which is nothing but nerd things because that's how we roll. We are lames, guys. But go RSVP if you have not RSVP'd for DitchCon. Things are happening. Our phones are ringing and people are calling.
That's not true at all.
No, our phones aren't ringing.
I tried calling you once, you didn't answer.
You called me?
No, but...
Look, I've been dodging my brother for the last 12 hours.
Look,
like-
we have people standing by for your calls.
Yes, important people. Well, importance is relative, right? Yeah, the only person's calls I've been dodging are my brothers.
For the viewers, we do have a full-time staff, 24/7, 365, and they're standing by, ready for your calls. RSVP ASAP.
They're standing. What's that? Does anybody watch a lot of late nights? There was this girls line.
But premium Snapchat.
No, it was like it was back in the days when the lines were really.
Call girls.
Yeah, but it was like a really
Like the party lines?
yeah, but it was like the chick lines. There was a catchy tune, and I would find myself singing it.
I don't know.
I can't think of it. I'm gonna find it and play it because it was quite funny.
Do you take Discover?
Put it on Twitter.
You know, I know why a lot of companies don't take Discover and American Express, and I wouldn't either because they have to jump through a lot of hoops to use. Like they pay more fees to accept Discover. And no, not bathwater girls, though. Not for nothing. We talked about this at work last week. I wanted to let everybody know how important it is to maximize your potential, and part of maximizing your potential is knowing what you can sell. And this chick's selling her own bathwater, and I can't even hate on her because why didn't I think of that? Oh, because nobody would buy my fucking bathwater because who gives a shit? But people are buying this chick's bathwater, and I'm not even mad about it because she is making the monies.
What if you were to sell just bottled water, but you're selling it? So like bottled water from Bell.
Would anybody... I purchased this bottled water with my own hands,
Yeah.
and I am now reselling you this.
Yeah, we'll take pictures of you actually buying the water bottles from, Fry's.
I'm going to resell... Hold on.
Yeah, it works.
I'm going to resell these Cheez-Its if anybody... For the
Look, open up the slit, put your finger in it.
for the low price of $1.99 a not square, they're diamond because they're Cheez-It snaps, which are really good. If you haven't had the snaps, go get them. They're really good. I'm gonna sell $1.99 for 5 of the snaps, touched by my hand.
They seem like a great value.
Like I said, viewers, we have a full-time staff. They're waiting for those calls. So put in those bids now.
Cash on delivery?
We don't
Sure.
accept CODs.
Oh, shit.
I'm pretty sure we're offered
Certified funds. I learned that term
Yeah.
this last week. Certified funds.
Well, you see, no. When you're transferring funds from your checking account to your savings account.
Takes about 3 to 5 business days. So there's a little bit of an in-between where you don't have no money because it's in transfer.
Is your husband still watching?
I don't know. He might have... I asked for food, so he probably left. Like, to pretend like he didn't hear me when I said I needed food.
He's going to get you food.
I don't know. You sound really adult, Tio. Maybe it's because I haven't talked to you in forever, but you sound like you upped your microphone game.
I don't know. Maybe it's been too long.
Like, normally you're really quiet, but you're super adult, big boy voice.
Well, we got viewers standing by.
Second free, just paid $9.95 shipping and handling. You'll get a second set of 5. Touched by the hands of me. Oh, he is.
I came here for the bathwater, right?
And I'll even throw in some M&Ms I stole from my husband.
A little bit of dark in there.
He probably didn't remember or know that I stole these from. We bought a big thing of M&Ms at Costco. Well, no, it was Sam's Club. I stole a handful and put them in this bag. And the other day, I think Julio was on, and I really wanted chocolate, and I was like, "Ooh, I have M&Ms in my drawer that have been there for like a month." And they were
Wait, so you stole them from Sam's Club?
I stole them from my husband.
Oh, okay.
He called
Who
me.
stole them from Sam's
He
Club?
called me a thieving bitch. He's not wrong. But it was really nice because I needed chocolate, and then they were in there in my drawer, and it was good. Guys, this is what happens when you live my life. So, yeah, bathwater. I'm also going to be looking at selling my own line of premium vape juice. I don't know how to make it. I don't know anything about it, but that's what makes it.
We're going to find out soon.
That's what makes it better. So, that's something that's better than bathwater because my hands will literally be in it. Well, that's how you get everyone to be quiet, is you start talking about weird stuff. So, guys, it's been, I think, a good show. I don't know. We have lots of theories. Make sure you comment on the YouTube channel or send me an email. I'm interested in hearing your Wrathion theories. And vote if he looks like Michael Jackson or...
I'm gonna go with Jason Momoa.
But he's really not buff enough to be Jason Momoa, I think.
Got the...
He's if Jason Momoa had cancer, stage 3.
Right. And I feel like you stereotyped him. You racist fuck.
Why? 'Cause
I don't know.
He's a
He
dragon.
has a beard. That obviously, Theo. This is why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah,
Listen,
because he is a dragon who has dragon hair.
Majestic.
as fuck.
He really is a looker in terms of, like, he's kind of like a Playboy type. Like, I don't know what's, I guess you're the, they don't call you the Black Prince for nothing.
Do you think he uses VO5 hot oil or like Pantene
He
Pro?
did look like he had a little soul glow, right? Like, he might.
Look, we all know it's Vidal Sassoon,
It
all right?
is Vidal Sassoon.
Maybe some Aquanet, like give it some.
Oh, that good old fashioned Aquanet. That's something I haven't heard in a long time.
For his bangs.
For his. Gotta fluff that shit out. Wow, Momoa is not hot. I don't really think he's cute. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining.
I think they're trying to say mimosa.
Mimosas do sound good, though, by the by. Thanks for joining. Hey, guys, thanks for popping in and rating the show. This was actually pretty awesome. This is probably the most exciting thing to happen all week, which is, I'm not even ashamed to say it. So, guys, we're going to get the fuck on out of here, but I am going to roll the outro so we can talk more about your theories. It still says Rem. Rem's still there. Rem is haunting me. Okay, so should I also sell the ranch snapped Cheez-Its?
Yeah, just blow a little hot air in there and just say 4 times it.
Because they have ranch flavor too, which I haven't had. But I think people would buy these.
Look,
People love ranch.
If you open up the slit, put in 2 fingers.
Does it matter where the fingers were prior to putting them in the bag of Cheez-Its?
What you
Look.
should do is like sell your dog's hair. Like you got all that fucking dog hair laying around. It's like
Wow.
I could totally be
Step on
like...
it.
It's really dark hair, though. That's...
Wait, what's wrong with dark hair?
Wrathion has dark hair.
Nothing's particularly wrong with dark hair. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong because then people are going to call me Trump. But I don't have dark hair.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Not even naturally. But what I could do is I could bottle the Ginger's hair and just sell it from the Ginger because he's cute.
People
So,
do love gingers.
and the carpet matches the drape, so I could just use his regular head hair.
No, now you got to add both.
Oh, I gotta do. It has to be authentic. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to say that this chick, I want to be her friend because she just takes baths and she just sells her bathwater and people buy it.
Oh, I thought she said she takes ass. I'm like, whoa.
She probably does. Honestly.
She needs Jesus.
She probably is Jesus.
Why would she need Jesus? And you know what?
To do her lawn.
Like when people say Jesus take the wheel. Like Jesus was born 2,000 years ago. That motherfucker don't know how to drive a car.
I know. I wouldn't want him to drive me anywhere. Like, I get it. He's divine, but like, yeah, I get
Why
it.
would
I
you
think
want him
it's-
to drive your car?
It started with take the reins.
What fucking
Wait.
idiot decided to fucking upgrade the fucking joke then? Or the phrase for that matter.
Jesus, take the wings.
Reigns.
Oh, reins. I thought he said wings.
No, reins.
Like
My
Santa's
accent.
sleigh reins. Like,
I apologize to the viewers. I am Hispanic, so
Jesus. Jesus, take the
Jesus.
saddle.
I do.
Jesus, take the saddle. No?
why not? Take the fucking saddle.
He invented the saddle. Maybe that was Jesus. I might be
Who knows?
Oh, the hell with it. You know, he just got nailed by a bunch of Romans.
True story.
This is why we can't have nice things, guys.